Note: this video references the Historia Augusta. It is a collection of biographies of Roman emperors, composed in the late 4th century AD. Its authorship remains uncertain, and the work itself is known for its mix of fact and fiction, making it a challenging text for historians and literary analysts alike. Have you ever wondered what secrets lie behind the Stoic face of one of history's greatest philosophers and emperors, Marcus Aurelius? There's so much more to his story than meets the eye. This video looks into some juicy, intriguing, fascinating, and even shocking secrets, untold stories, and little-known facts about Marcus Aurelius that will change the way you see this iconic figure forever. History remembers Marcus Aurelius as one of the Roman Empire's good emperors, but we should not forget that he was also just a man and not a god. Let's look at some lesser-known facts about him, including details about his wife and children. Marcus Aurelius faced numerous personal struggles throughout his life, which deeply influenced his philosophical outlook and writings. Here are some key aspects. His early life and education. Marcus Aurelius was born on April 26, 121 AD into one of Rome's richest and politically influential families, but that doesn't mean he had a charmed childhood. He lost his father when he was just 3 years old. But did you know that his education was heavily influenced by his mother, Domitia Lucilla, who instilled in him a love for philosophy from a young age? This early exposure to philosophical thought would shape his entire life. It was said that Marcus Aurelius's mother, Lucilla, basically never saw her boy, and instead, he spent his lonely childhood in the care of nursemaids. Aurelius's caretakers sent him to live with his grandfather, Marcus Annius Verus. After his isolated days with the nursemaids, Aurelius instantly took to his old grandpappy. He spoke highly of his grandfather for the rest of his life, but there was one part of this new life he absolutely hated. When Marcus's grandma passed, his grandpa took a mistress, and he utterly despised her. He couldn't get out of the house fast enough after she moved in. His rise to power. Despite his philosophical inclinations, Marcus Aurelius was thrust into the political arena at a young age. His rise to power was marked by a series of strategic alliances and political maneuvers. One little-known fact is that he was initially reluctant to become emperor, preferring a life of contemplation and study. Faustina the Younger, his wife. But even remarkable men have skeletons in their closets, and there was one chilling rumor that dogged Marcus Aurelius wherever he went. Marcus Aurelius was famously stern and reserved. His wife, Faustina, not so much. His wife, Annia Galeria Faustina Minor, also known as Faustina the Younger, was not known for her virtue. Already a bit of a wild child, one vice possessed her more than the rest. What was it? Lust. She allegedly liked to sleep around, a lot, and was particularly fond of gladiators. His wife's many affairs were an open secret throughout all of Rome. Faustina allegedly had many lovers, but one of them was special. Multiple ancient sources claim that she actually fell in love with a nameless gladiator. Two things made this man different. Faustina actually cared for him, and Marcus Aurelius found out about him. And when the emperor did learn about his wife's affair, his response was absolutely twisted. Marcus Aurelius was never one to rush into anything, so when he found out about his wife's new man, he asked some Chaldean soothsayers for advice, and boy oh boy did they give it. The soothsayers had the perfect way for Marcus Aurelius to reclaim his manhood. First, they said Faustina must sleep with the gladiator one last time. I'm sure Aurelius wasn't too excited about that part, but it's what came next that was the truly messed up part. The soothsayers had Faustina sleep with her gladiator, then had Aurelius stab the man while they were doing it. Pretty dark, right? We're just getting started. Then he made Faustina bathe in the man's blood, and once she was good and lathered up, Aurelius slept with her over the man's still warm body. Despite her dissipated and cruel behavior, Marcus accepted her without reproach during her lifetime. After her death, he even ordered the Senate to deify her name. Family tragedies. He experienced significant personal loss, including the deaths of several of his children. Out of his 13 children with his wife, Faustina, only 6 survived into adulthood. Among their surviving children were 5 daughters and their son, Commodus, who later became the despised emperor after Marcus's reign ended. The loss of his children was a profound source of grief and shaped his Stoic beliefs about the impermanence of life. Commodus. He was born to Faustina and Marcus, succeeding his father as emperor. Unfortunately, his reign marked the beginning of the decline of the Roman Empire. He was known as one of the most bloodthirsty, arrogant, and hated emperors in Rome's history. Lucius Verus. Marcus Aurelius didn't rule Rome alone at first. He had a co-emperor, Lucius Verus. Marcus Aurelius betrothed his daughter, Annia Lucilla, to his fully adult co-emperor Lucius Verus when she was just 11 years old. While Marcus Aurelius was all about running an empire, Verus was all about spending money, partying, and sleeping around. It's hard to imagine two emperors more different than Marcus Aurelius and Lucius Verus. Verus went about doing whatever he wanted, whenever he wanted, which almost always meant drinking and gambling, and almost never meant running an empire. Meanwhile, Marcus Aurelius always asked the Senate for permission whenever he wanted to spend money on a new project, even though as emperor, he could do whatever he wanted. His philosophical contributions and outlook. Marcus Aurelius is best known for his work Meditations, a series of personal writings that offer profound insights into his Stoic philosophy. But did you know that these writings were never intended for publication? They were his private reflections, written during military campaigns to help him cope with the stresses of leadership. Yes, behind the Stoic facade, Marcus Aurelius faced numerous personal challenges. His personal struggles significantly impacted his leadership decisions and style. These struggles deeply influenced his philosophical outlook, making his writings even more poignant. Here are some ways in which his experiences influenced his rule. Health issues. Marcus Aurelius suffered from chronic health problems, including severe stomach pains and possibly arthritis. Despite his physical ailments, he continued to fulfill his duties as emperor, often writing his philosophical reflections during these difficult times. Political and military challenges. As emperor, Marcus Aurelius faced constant political and military challenges. He spent much of his reign defending the Roman Empire against various invasions, particularly from Germanic tribes. These military campaigns were grueling and required him to be away from Rome for extended periods, adding to his stress and responsibilities. Betrayal and rebellion. Marcus Aurelius also dealt with betrayal and rebellion within the empire. One notable instance was the revolt led by Avidius Cassius, a trusted general who declared himself emperor. Although the rebellion was quickly squashed, it was a significant personal and political blow to Marcus. Philosophical struggles. Despite his Stoic philosophy, Marcus Aurelius grappled with the practical application of his beliefs. His writings in Meditations often reflect his internal struggles to remain virtuous and composed in the face of adversity. He constantly reminded himself of the principles of Stoicism to maintain his composure and sense of duty. Balancing roles. Balancing his roles as a philosopher and an emperor was another significant challenge. Marcus Aurelius had a deep desire for a life of contemplation and study, but his responsibilities as emperor often took precedence. This tension between his philosophical aspirations and his imperial duties is a recurring theme in his writings. These personal struggles not only shaped Marcus Aurelius's character, but also enriched his philosophical contributions, making his reflections in Meditations resonate with authenticity and depth. His ability to maintain his Stoic principles despite these challenges is a testament to his resilience and wisdom. Stoic philosophy and governance. Marcus Aurelius's adherence to Stoic philosophy, which emphasizes rationality, self-control, and virtue, was a guiding principle in his leadership. His personal struggles, such as dealing with illness and loss, reinforced his commitment to these principles. This philosophical grounding helped him make decisions that were measured, just, and focused on the greater good of the empire. Compassion and empathy. His personal hardships, including the loss of his children and his own health issues, likely made him more empathetic and compassionate as a leader. He was known for his concern for the welfare of his people and his efforts to alleviate their suffering. Resilience and perseverance. The constant military threats and political challenges he faced required immense resilience. His personal struggles taught him perseverance, which he applied to his leadership. Despite numerous setbacks, he remained committed to defending the empire and maintaining its integrity. His ability to endure hardships and continue leading effectively was a testament to his strength of character. Focus on duty and responsibility. Marcus Aurelius's sense of duty was deeply ingrained, partly due to his personal experiences. He believed in fulfilling his responsibilities as emperor, even at great personal cost. This sense of duty influenced his decisions, ensuring that he prioritized the needs of the empire over his own desires for a more contemplative life. Reflective decision-making. His habit of self-reflection, as seen in his meditations, allowed him to approach leadership with a thoughtful and introspective mindset. He often reflected on his actions and decisions, striving to align them with his philosophical beliefs. This reflective approach helped him navigate complex issues with a clear and principled perspective. Balancing justice and mercy. Marcus Aurelius's personal experiences with betrayal and rebellion, such as the revolt of Avidius Cassius, influenced his approach to justice. While he dealt firmly with threats to the empire, he also showed mercy when possible. For instance, after quelling the rebellion, he chose to pardon many of the conspirators, demonstrating a balance between justice and clemency. Marcus Aurelius also demonstrated compassionate leadership through various actions and policies during his reign. Here are some specific examples. Support. During the Antonine Plague. During the Antonine Plague, which devastated the Roman Empire, Marcus Aurelius took significant measures to support the affected population. He allocated funds for public health and relief efforts, ensuring that those suffering from the plague received care and assistance. His leadership during this crisis showcased his compassion and commitment to the well-being of his people. Welfare programs. Marcus Aurelius actively supported charitable activities and welfare programs aimed at assisting the less fortunate members of Roman society. He provided financial aid and established institutions to support orphans, the poor, and individuals facing hardship. These initiatives reflected his concern for social welfare and his desire to improve the lives of his subjects. Fair treatment of conquered peoples. In his military campaigns, Marcus Aurelius emphasized the fair treatment of conquered peoples. He believed in showing respect and dignity to all individuals, regardless of their status or origin. This approach helped to maintain peace and stability within the empire and demonstrated his humane and just leadership. Clemency and forgiveness. As previously stated, after squashing the rebellion led by Avidius Cassius, Marcus Aurelius chose to pardon many of the conspirators instead of executing them. This act of clemency highlighted his ability to balance justice with mercy, showing that he valued forgiveness and reconciliation over harsh punishment. Personal conduct. Marcus Aurelius led by example, embodying the Stoic virtues of humility, empathy, and self-discipline. He treated his subordinates and subjects with kindness and respect, fostering a culture of mutual respect and cooperation within his administration. His personal conduct inspired those around him to adopt similar values. Marcus Aurelius's compassionate leadership not only addressed immediate needs, but also fostered a more humane and just society. His actions continue to serve as a model for ethical and empathetic leadership. His legacy and impact. Marcus Aurelius's legacy extends far beyond his reign as emperor. His philosophical teachings have influenced countless thinkers and leaders throughout history. But perhaps the most surprising fact is how his ideas continue to resonate in modern times, offering timeless wisdom on resilience, leadership, and the human condition. Overall, Marcus Aurelius's personal struggles enriched his leadership, making him a more compassionate, resilient, and reflective ruler. His ability to integrate his philosophical beliefs with his responsibilities as emperor left a lasting legacy on both his reign and the broader history of leadership. In conclusion, Marcus Aurelius was more than just a Roman emperor. He was a philosopher, a leader, and a man who faced immense challenges with grace and wisdom. By exploring these little-known facts about his life, we gain a deeper understanding of his enduring legacy.